Today we're making chicken, mushroom and veggies in white sauce. The idea for this recipe came from a hospital meal I was served when I went to have my baby, and I'll be telling you all about it. Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Lola and I make videos about mom life, food and lifestyle. Now, like I said, we're going to be making this chicken in white sauce, and first thing I'm doing is to make my seasoning mix for the chicken. In there I have salt, cayenne pepper, which is your regular red pepper, black pepper and oregano. And that is my chicken breast with bone in. I'm going to be deboning it. Then we have some green pepper, red bell pepper, and then we have some onion. We have some garlic, and then we have mushrooms, a can of whole mushrooms which I'm going to be slicing, and we have our bouillon cubes. There are a few other ingredients that I didn't show here which you'll be seeing as we proceed, but definitely check in the description box for the recipe for this meal, and everything will be listed there with the measurements. Okay, so I'm going ahead to cut up my veggies in large chunks, like the same size as I will be dicing or slicing my chicken, because I want everything to be fairly the same size. So I've just cut up my onion into like rough chunks like that, and I'm gonna do the same thing for everything else. So the idea for this recipe, like I said, came from a meal I was served in the hospital when I went to give birth to my son, and it was just white sauce with chicken and mushroom and rice. And when I was served, it was actually okay, it was tasty. The hospital food wasn't bad at all. I actually enjoyed them. But then the plate just looked so white. It was like white sauce with chicken and mushroom, white rice. It just looked so white on a white plate. And in my head, I was like, this is tasty, but I can make this 100 times better. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So you can see that I've chopped up most of my veggies and the mushrooms as well. The larger ones, I cut them into two, and the smaller ones, I just left them whole like that. Those are button mushrooms, and you can see those ones everywhere, the canned ones. But if you find fresh ones, that would be good as well. So I go ahead to season my chicken, and I just massage all that seasoning into it to make sure each piece is coated with my seasoning mix. Of course, you can use whatever seasoning you choose, but my rule of thumb is always don't over season your meals so that the fresh flavors of ingredients can shine through. Now, this is one of the ingredients I didn't show you before, which is flour. We're going to be using that to thicken our sauce. And next is chicken fats. Instead of oil, you can use oil totally, but I have chicken fat, and that's what I'm going to be using. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and cook our chicken. I always tell you guys, when you're cooking fresh meat like this directly on a hot pan, just put it in there and just leave it be. Don't go in and touch it and try to move it around. Just leave it be for a good amount of time. It would release its juices. The juices will be incorporated back into the meat, some will evaporate, and then you see that chicken will start to brown up, and this is where you want to be. And so I just take them out because they're small pieces, so they'll cook fast. And then we go in next with our mushrooms. I must brown my mushrooms. Like, I will never use my mushrooms just the way they are in a recipe. I would always brown them to give them some color. And what that does is it takes out, because mushroom has a lot of water in it, so it takes out most of that water content and just leaves you with a really nice, flavorful mushroom, and gives you that meaty, earthy flavor that you enjoy from mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you can definitely leave them out, but I'm just wondering why you won't like mushrooms. If you cook them like this, you will like them, but if you leave them just the way they are, they will taste kind of soggy and mushy, and I don't like that. That's why I always have to brown my mushrooms. So definitely try this out and see if you will like them. Okay, so next we're gonna be just sauteing our veggies, and I just want to give them like a really quick saute in the hot pan. So you'll see that they don't even stay too long. They stay for about 2 minutes at most. I season with salt and black pepper, and I just, let them go for a bit. Some of them even start to char because the pan is so hot. And it's a good idea to use a wide pan like this. If you use a pot, because of the high sides, they would sort of steam instead of really sort of saute and roast. So a wide pan or a wok like this gives you the ability to be able to saute them and not like steam them up. So once that's done, we just pack that out of our pan and move on to the next thing. So I go in again with my chicken fat, and like I said, you can use oil instead. I had that, so I just used it because that's like extra flavor. I mean, it's chicken fat, so So we're just gonna heat up our garlic, and when it's fragrant, we're gonna add our flour. Now this is called a roux. A roux is fat and flour, and you just cook that for about a minute or two to get that raw taste of flour, cooked. You know how when you bite a pastry that wasn't well baked, that raw taste of flour, you don't want to get that in your sauce, so you make sure that you kind of cook down your roux for a little bit to get that taste off. So yeah, you just cook that a bit, keep stirring on medium heat because you don't want it to burn. This can burn, and you definitely do not want that. And let me also let you know that a roux is different from a slurry. A slurry is corn flour or corn starch and water that is used mostly in Asian dishes to thicken a sauce, but this is different, and this particular sauce uses a roux, not a slurry. So I just added a knob of butter, and this is just going to give it extra flavor. Yeah, definitely do that if you have some. So next I'm going to be going in okay, we'll let that butter melt a bit, and then we'll be going in with our liquid. So my liquid in this case is water, and I'm going to be seasoning that with my bouillon cubes. But you can use chicken stock, like the store-bought chicken stock, in a can or in a pack, if you have that. But if you don't have that, just use water and the bouillon cube. Again, check my description for the ingredient amount. So you can see that I'm adding it gradually and mixing it up so that the flour does not separate in all the liquid. So you add a little liquid and stir to make sure that it's incorporated well before you add some more. And I'm just simply seasoning that with salt, some black pepper, and the bouillon cube, which I'm not sure I showed you. But yeah, as this cooks, it thickens, and you can see that it has thickened a bit. So I'm going to be going in with my chicken, mushroom, and the veggies, and everything is cooked on their own. So we're basically done with the sauce. You just want them to heat up a bit for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and this sauce is ready. So I served mine with some steamed white rice, just bedazzled with carrots, peas, and corn, just because I wanted it to be colorful, not like what I was serving in the hospital. So that's it, guys. Definitely try this recipe because it was so yummy. Give my video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.